Hi, my name is Eric Strand. I'm the Field Service Manager for Scales in New Jersey, and we're going to talk to you today about oil sampling. The purpose of oil sampling is to monitor your oil's condition, your machine's condition, so that you can keep your machine working optimally. We want to sample oil to keep track of the condition of the oil and the compressor so that you don't have any unscheduled downtime. Oil sampling is a relatively inexpensive preventative maintenance tool. Oil life can be affected by the surroundings where the machine is installed. It can be affected by chemicals in the air, the temperature the machine operates at. For every 18 degrees, over 195 degrees, you can actually cut the oil life in half. The reports you will get from oil sampling will tell you about the viscosity of the oil, any particle load that's in the oil, the total acid number, which is the acidity of the oil, and any wear metals. These are all indicators of what kind of condition the oil is in and what kind of condition your machine is in. So by sampling, you can truly see how long the oil lasts. Proper sampling procedure. When taking samples, always use a clean sample container. And always be sure to wipe away where you're getting the sample from. Make sure it's clean of any contaminants. You don't want to affect the sample. If your unit's equipped with sample ports after the oil filter, these are the best places to get the sample from. If your equipment is not equipped with these ports, then we suggest taking a sample from the oil reservoir. When taking a sample from the reservoir, it is suggested that the machine be locked and tagged out. Make sure there's no power on it, it can't come on. Make sure that the air is all bled off the machine and isolate it from the air system. And then take the sample from the drain on the bottom of the reservoir. When taking the sample from the bottom of the sump, you need to drain off a little oil first, or perhaps there's some water in the bottom or debris. You want to get that out first before you want clean oil in your sample. Be sure to fill the sample bottle. Return valves to the off position. Then we can return the compressor to normal operation and check for any leaks. Always fill out the oil sample label completely. You need the date and the hours on the oil, so you can keep track of when it was done and what the age of the oil is. This will lead to better trending when you're looking at the oil sample results. With new equipment, it's important to sample a little more often. Between 500 to 2,000 hours is what we would suggest, and that way you can see how long the oil actually lasts in the environment the compressor is in. Quincy compressor requires oil samples every 2,000 hours for warranty purposes. Safety. Following proper safety procedures is of the utmost importance. No one should be injured in the workplace when it can be avoided. Compressor operating temperatures can exceed 180 degrees. At a minimum, we should wear gloves before touching it or wait for the unit to cool down. Where required, we need to lock out and tag out electrical and compressed air and make sure that there is no power on the machine and the machine cannot start. You still want to be careful opening valves or removing plugs in case there's air trapped behind them. Better safe than sorry. Once the sample is taken, we want to make sure we wipe down all the components that we were using to take the sample. We want to make sure we wipe away any oil that was spilt taking the sample so that there is no slips or mistaken leak reporting. Procedure for taking the sample from the oil filter valve. With equipment running, we can wipe off the valve and the tube from the valve, and using a clean sample bottle, just crack the valve open and collect the sample. You'll need at least 4 ounces of oil in the sample bottle to get a full report. We then can fill out the sample label and attach it to the bottle. Then ship the sample to the lab as soon as possible. Labels must include unit manufacturer, model number, serial number, hours on equipment, hours on the oil, date of the sample, customer name and information, and the oil manufacturer and type. So this completes our training on taking oil samples on your equipment. I hope you've learned from this video why it's important to take oil samples. It adds to the longevity of your equipment and certainly helps you keep track of when your oil needs to be changed and the condition of that equipment.